Hello everybody and welcome to BLOC's virtual curriculum. Today we'll be learning about post-secondary education planning inspired by the academic hustle curriculum. So let's go over our objectives for today. We're going to discuss post-secondary education options. We're going to identify the best educational institutions for your career goals, and we're going to learn how to research and rank the post-secondary educational options of your choice. So let's get into it. Let's discuss post-secondary education options. We can't do that until we first look at some key terms: post-secondary education and educational institution. So, what is a post-secondary education? It is defined as a reference to any education beyond high school. What is an educational institution? An educational institution is a place where people of different ages gain an education, including preschools, childcare, primary elementary schools, secondary high schools, and universities. So basically, a school. Okay, so since we got that out of the way, let's go back to discussing post-secondary educational options. So there are a lot of ways you can continue your education after high school. Okay, so we're gonna look at some different options, and you have the power to decide which one is best for you. Now, let's go in and look at the difference between community college and universities. So, I know you're probably asking, what is the difference between college and universities? So, in a nutshell, most community colleges also offer short-term certificate and diploma programs that train you for a specific career. Remember, 2 years or less. It takes about 2 years or less to complete a college. Now, a university, on the other hand, they generally offer programs that result in bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral degrees, and it takes longer to complete. So remember, 4 years or more is a university. Another form of post-secondary education is apprenticeships, aka mentorships. Apprenticeships are formal mentorships where someone more experienced than you will help to guide your development in a specific area. The key to getting the most out of this type of training is to pick the right person. And don't worry, we're going to talk about researching on how to do that. Okay, so let's look at technical vocational schools, also known as trade schools. Vocational school, also called a trade school, is a high-level learning institution that specializes in providing students with the technical skills they need in order to perform the task of particular jobs. And particular jobs can include a carpenter, carpet installer, electrician, heavy equipment operator, insulation installer, a landscaper, a painter, a plumber. There's lots. You can Google that to find a list of many trades. Next up are for-profit private institutions. Like all colleges, you want to make sure you do your research. And don't worry, we're going to go over that. Okay? Some of these schools are not accredited, which means the coursework you complete during your time there will not be recognized by other schools if you plan to transfer. Make sure that your investment will be worth it. So let's get into HBCUs. Okay guys, watch this clip and you'll learn more about HBCUs and what is it.
It's a scene that used to be unimaginable because access to higher education was virtually non-existent for Black people in the U.S. before historically Black colleges and universities, also known as HBCUs. Congress officially defines an HBCU as a school established before 1964 whose principal mission was and is the education of Black Americans. And unlike what Education Secretary Betsy DeVos has said, these schools didn't start as pioneers for school choice. Let's be clear, there was no choice. HBCUs became prevalent after the Civil War, and they were dedicated to meeting the needs of the newly freed African American population. Southern University was one of those schools, and the nation's first Black governor, PBS Pinchback, founded it in 1880. Like the majority of HBCUs, Southern University is located in the southeastern United States. Black HBCU graduates are twice as likely to be satisfied in their work, have greater community involvement, and they even vote more frequently, according to Brian Bridges of the United Negro College Fund.
HBCUs provide support to the students who need it the most, even though they have the least amount of resources to help those students succeed.
The vast majority of HBCU enrollees are low-income students, and at some schools they make up nearly the entire student body. Bridges says that these schools are the largest provider of scholarships to minority students.
Okay, so now that we've looked at the different options, let's go ahead and identify the best educational institution for your career goals. In order for us to identify the best institution for you, you have to ask yourself some of these questions. What are educational requirements for your dream job? What institutions have the people in your dream job attended? What type of training did they receive? Did they go to a private or a public school? Then you identify the best educational program located where you are and where you want to attend school or work. List the institutions you have heard about, even the ones your family or your friends suggest, or even popular schools. Okay guys, we reached the last and final step. Research and rank your post-secondary options. We want to look up the quality of their education, experiences, and relationships. We do our research by perusing websites, calling the schools, talking to recruiters, we plan visits, we read the reviews. What are the students saying? We ask people what they know about the school, especially the graduates, aka known as alumni and current students. Also, one of the most important parts is to know how much it's going to cost you to attend this institution. It's very important to be aware of your financial aid options. Guys, do your research and do your own research. That's the only way you're going to have a peace of mind. After you doing your research, then you will be able to rank your choices from the best educational institutions for your career goals versus the least educational institution for your career goals. Alright, that sums it up for today. We discussed post-secondary educational options. We learned how to identify the best educational institution for your career goals, and we learned how to research and rank your post-secondary educational options. Hey! Guys, this is a blueprint for success. So all we want you to know is that we're praying for you, we want the best for you, and we want to see you win. So see you next time on BLOC Virtual Curriculums. Deuces. Alright, y'all boys, I'm out.